Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, as you can tell by the title of this video. Today we're going to be talking about my October wrap-up and my November TBR. So I'm going to go through my October wrap-up fairly quickly because I didn't read very many books in October, to be quite honest with you. So I started off the month by trying to read all the books that I was borrowing from the bookshop that I work at so that I could give them back once I had finished them. That didn't exactly happen, but here we go. Let me tell you why. I started off the month reading 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson, and I got not very far into this book, I'm not going to lie to you, and I DNF'd it because I already realized that it was not going to be the book for me, that I was not going to have an enjoyable reading experience reading this man's book because he waffles far too much, in my opinion. Then the next book I read was The Things We Do to Our Friends, which wasn't on my original list, but I found it at the bookshop while I was working there, and it looked like something right up my alley, like something I would really enjoy. And also the blurb started out with Claire, something about Claire is going to the University of Edinburgh, and you don't have to tell me anything more. I was hooked already. Just from that one sentence, I knew I would like this book. I did like it. However, this cast of characters is the most unhinged and problematic cast of characters in a book that I have ever read. Every single one of the characters is messed up in some sort of way. Some of them are messed up a lot more than the others, but all of them are a little bit messed up, to say the least. I did very much enjoy it, but wow. The people, the characters were just crazy, doing crazy things. And then I still was listening to the 77 Days of February on audiobook from that rolled over from September, and I finished it, and it is a 5-star read. I spoke about it in my previous reading vlog, but it is such a good book, and I would love for every single person to go and read this book. It is so well written, and the stories are so heart-wrenching and informative, and it just stays with you. This book has stayed with me since I've read it. I'm so desperate to find a physical copy of this book, even though I don't think it has been physically published, but I would buy it in a heartbeat if I found it a physical copy, because I loved it that much, and I would want to go back and reread it time and time again. Then the next book I started reading, actually I don't know if I'm telling you these in chronological order, but anyway, was Plagues and People by William H. McNeill. As you can see, I haven't gotten very far in this book because it is very dense. It is very packed with a lot of information, so it's not a quick read. So I'm still busy reading that one. And then I also found another book at the bookshop while I was busy working there, even though I still have another book from the bookshop that I'm supposed to read, but I just keep finding other interesting books to read there. And this book is very relevant to me right now and to what's going on in my brain. So it is Ready by David Richo. I'm assuming it's Richo. It's probably not Richo. Richo? And as you can see, I have also not made it that far in this book. So I'm currently also reading this one still. So these are 2 of the books on my November TBR so far. And for this next section, I think we're going to move to my bookshelf, even though it will probably be quite backlit, but I'm going to try my best so that we can pick my November reads together, because I don't know what I'm going to read for November. Okay, so I think this is just about the best angle I'm going to be able to find for this bookshelf, because it is very close to the floor and it is backlit, so you're just going to have to bear with me while I go through this bookshelf. So now I'm picking the other books I want to read in November. first of all, I do think I'm going to read another audiobook or listen to another audiobook. I'm not sure which one yet. I should probably go through my list here and actually pick one, you know. But while that's busy loading, I've kind of been eyeing this book for a little while now on my bookshelf. And I don't know why, but it seems like I'm in a non-fiction kick at the moment, because 3 of the books that I read last month were non-fiction. I DNF'd another non-fiction. I read 1 fiction book. I'm still busy reading 2 of the non-fictions. And then this is a memoir, or basically 5 memoirs kind of in one, about a house full of daughters. How can I describe this to you? It is Vita Sackville-West's family, basically, but all of the women. So it would be Vita Sackville-West's grandmother, her mother, Vita herself, Vita's daughter who was married into the family, and then that daughter's daughter, so Vita's granddaughter, basically, who wrote the book, Juliet Nicholson, about the 5 women, including herself, who came before her in this family, because they were all very interesting and unique in their own ways. So I've been eyeing this book for a while on my bookshelf, so I think I'm going to add it to my TBR. And then I don't know if I want to read another classic this month, because I'm already now reading 3 books, plus the audiobook that I want to listen to. I'm going to go through my audiobook list real quick. I'm going to create a new list and call it, hello? Did I just create a new list without even knowing? Okay. November reading. Create a list. Okay, now I can add this book to the list. I'm adding Hum by Natalia Hero. It is an audiobook, and it's only 1 hour long, so I think I should be able to finish that this month. I should actually probably be able to finish that today, but that's not my only audiobook, because I actually want to read a long audiobook. Thank You for Listening has also been intriguing me for a little while, because it is narrated by one of the same audiobook narrators who... It is written and narrated by one of the narrators from The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't know which voice it was, but I have a sneaking suspicion. And if it is the voice who I thought it was, I'm not sure that I'm going to enjoy her narration. But if it is the other voice who I thought it was at first, then I think I will enjoy it. But I think, let me just go down further. Ooh, I have Madame Bovary as well, but I don't think I want to read that this month. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Thank You for Listening. I heard about this book from one of the other booktubers that I follow, who very much enjoys Julia Whelan's audiobook narration, and introduced me to the book that she wrote. So I think that's going to be an interesting one. So I currently have 6 books on my November TBR, technically, if you include Hum, but it's only an hour long, so it's a very short read. So I'm going to add... Hear me out. I'm going to add a classic to the list, even though I know that I probably won't read it. But the thought of having a classic on my book list, my reading TBR for the month, just seems like something I want to do. I'm also going to make it a short classic, because I do not have the time to be reading The Tenant of Wildfeld Hole, or The Scapegoat, or The Black Tulip, or Orlando this month. So, what short classics do I own? Sorry, you can't even see my classic shelf. It's down here. I have Anthem by Ayn Rand, Northanger Abbey, The Moon and Sixpence, Pollyanna, Last Exit to Brooklyn. It's technically also a short book, but I don't know about that. The Blacker the Berry, and The Picture of Dorian Gray. For some reason, I think Pollyanna is calling my name. So, oh goodness, I forgot how small the type is in these Penguin, in the Collins classics. Ooh! I think I can read that if I finish all the other ones first. So, I'm adding this to my list as well. Here is my tiny stack, excluding the audiobooks. I will put up the audiobook pictures on the screen next to me here, so that you can see them all together. We've got Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter, Ready by David Richo, Plagues and Peoples by William H. McNeill, A House Full of Daughters by Juliet Nicholson, Hum by Natalia Hero, and Thank You for Listening by Julia Whelan. And that's a great segue, because I want to thank you so very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, and if I talked about some books that you might be interested, I'm glad. You can give it a thumbs up if you would be so kind. And with that, I shall leave you here. Go forth and read my books, so that I can actually finish my TBR this month. And I shall see you again next week with another video. Bye.